Okay. É uma cobra, é um pau, é João, é José.
Beleza. Um, dois, três, quatro, cinco, seis, sete, oito, nove, 10.
Hello, hello, everybody. How are you guys? So, here we are again in another Tuesday. Let's practice some voice. Let's practice some singing. My name is Angela Veloso, and it's a pleasure to be here teaching for Rádio Terra, Radio Earth. Yeah. I'm here with Gabriel, and yeah, we're going to talk a little bit about music, about in the perspective of the voice. I like to think about singing like this because the voice for me is an instrument as well. So let's talk about music. And the song that we're going to work today is Águas de Março. Yeah! Let's put some sound effects here. Let's think about this next time. Águas de Março is a very, very, very famous song by Tom Jobim. Tom Jobim is worldwide wide famous, and I think it's one of his hits, right? Águas de Março, it's one of the biggest successes of Tom Jobim, Águas de Março. But before talking about Águas de Março, I want to talk about one of the most important things about singing, that is intonation. Intonation. But before, let me drink some water. Do you guys are drinking some water today? Because in every day, because water is life. I'm a little bit pumpkin style today. I was doing some exercises before coming here, and I'm going to do some exercises after the class. Do some exercises. The body needs to be prepared for life, guys. So, intonation. What is intonation? Intonation is the accuracy of pitch in playing or singing. If you're out of pitch, it doesn't matter what you do. Like everything will sound wrong. If you're out of pitch, something will you will always feel that something is not correct. It's going to we're always going to have the feeling that something is out of order. And the pitch is something that every single instrument kind of even the percussion instruments have a relation with the pitch in a different way, but everything inside of music has a relation with pitch. And in the voice, when we are singing out of the pitch, then it doesn't matter if we're doing a great performance. It doesn't matter if you're doing great vibratos. It doesn't matter if you're doing like if you're giving your soul on the stage. It doesn't matter. Like it really doesn't matter because everybody is let me say how can I say this, everybody is speaking in Portuguese and you're speaking in English. So it feels like something is wrong. So if you're out of pitch, if anybody is out of pitch, like it could be the guitar, like you are the singer and you're singing on pitch, and the piano is on pitch, and but the guitar is playing in another key, so or it's not tuned, the instrument is not tuned, so you're going to feel that something is just not feeling correct. It isn't right. The pitch is very important for music to feel harmonic. Because that's what actually it is about. The pitch, it's about harmony, but we can talk about it in another day in a more profound way. But what do we actually need to stay on pitch? We need to develop, we need two things. I'll talk about two things. First, we need to develop our perception. And what is perception? It's about ear training. It's about developing our ear, about learning how to hear the ear, how to ear, how to hear the notes, how to differentiate the notes. So if I hear a C, and if I hear a D, and then I hear and I hear this again, then I know that this is a D and this is a C. That's like a relation with the notes that I can just develop with this, with practice, with work, with time, with dedication, and that's something that comes with ear training. And the ear training is something that will help with everything. Something like entering in the key of the song. Like if the band gives you the cue to enter on the music, it's something that you can just identificate identify thank you, identify when you have a good when you have a good ear, when you have a good perception. So you have to develop your perception to differentiate the notes. You have to develop your perception to identify. Jesus, why did I stuck with identificate in my head? Oh Jesus, because in Portuguese it's identificar. Identificar. It just sounds. Sometimes I have this thing about translating, getting the word in Portuguese and translating it literally, but it doesn't work like that. Just curious fact about me: I studied in Germany for a year, and I tried to do this in German, and it was very weird sometimes. But anyway, coming back to develop our perception, we need to differentiate the notes, the intervals, and we have to start paying attention to the pitch of other singers, and actually to start paying attention to other instruments as well. Because sometimes I feel that us singers, we are very focused only on other singers. Like we go to a concert and we're just paying attention to the vocalists, or the main singer and the backing vocals, something like that, for example. And the other instruments are just like following the leader, you know? And music's not about it. Music is a thing that works with it's a group thing, you know? That imagine a singer singing by himself in a concert. Like Bruno Mars. Bruno Mars goes to his concert by himself. He sings one song by himself, the second, okay. But the third, the fourth, the fifth, like 1 hour and a half just by himself, I think it would be very weird. He's not Bob McFerrin. If he was Bob McFerrin, okay, it would make sense. But he's not. Or not only Bruno Mars, but I don't know, Lady Gaga, Beyonce, or uh, 99% of the singers we know, they just don't work by themselves. And sometimes we have the habit of putting all the golden the medals, the golden medals to the artists, the big artists, the name of the bands, or the big names of the bands and stuff. But nobody does everything by themselves, you know. So I always think that we have to pay attention to the whole context. It's not just the singer that can be out of pitch. Everybody can be out of pitch. We have to pay attention to the whole context, and that's something that will develop our ear as well. You know. So what is this guitar line that he's doing, or this bass line, or what is the drum doing in this moment of the band? What is this moment of the song that everybody goes low and then everybody goes high? You know, all of these things are going to increase our perception of the language, the music language, the musical language. You know. Okay. And the second thing that I think it's very important for us to stay on pitch is a thing that I started to talk in our first class. That is to learn how to control our instrument, and our instrument is part of our body. So it's the respiratory system plus our larynx, our tongue, our villain or soft palate, but it's also known as nose gate. It's this thing that makes us speak like that, or goes like it open and closes the passage of the airflow from the nose to the mouth. This. We call it nose gate. This is the popular name, but the correct name we can say like that. It's villain or soft palate. The jaw and the lips. All of these things are part of our instrument. Of course, the arms, the legs, the head, everything, the sound passes through the whole body. But the things we are controlling to make our sound are these things I just named here. And what do I mean by saying that? I'm talking about developing both motor coordination and inner consciousness. Always remembering that this instrument that we have is made of muscles, and the muscles are controlled by us. So, if we know how to control them, we're going to use them better. It's simple. If you are a guitar player and you just like stay 1 to 3 hours per day doing scales, pentatonic scales, practicing your I don't know chords and the changes, then you're going to do it faster and you're going to do it more naturally. It's the same thing with the voice. The only thing is that we're not watching it. It's not so visual, and we're not doing it in another object. It's something that is part of our body. So. Let's always try to practice this inner consciousness about our instrument. And I always recommend to try to find professionals such as speech therapists and vocal teachers that you can trust and that can be recommended by people you trust. Of course, that we are here talking. I think you can send questions or stuff. Yeah, right? Okay. Yeah, you can send questions. If you are watching this live, you can send questions. If you're not watching this live and you're watching this later, I can read your comments and try to answer them later. But you can also ask me and leave your comment. But the ideal world is to have professionals with you, that knows your history, and knows your personal needs. Okay, so let's talk about some tips. I'm going to come back to the A part, that is the ear training. The ear training for me is something that is very important. Gabriel, can you please put this list of tips? Yes, let's put. Yeah. I brought some tips for you guys that I feel that are very important. Some are golden, some are painful. Painful because they are important to make us get our feet back on the ground, to know that we are nothing. No. That we have much to learn. We are always capable of learning and studying more. So, the golden tip, this one is a golden one. The tip number 1 is study intervals. Study intervals. And what do I mean by study intervals? Is that and what is intervals? I'm talking, intervals, and you must be asking yourself, if you don't know what is intervals, what is in the world is intervals? Interval is the distance between one note and the other. It's just that. And everything in music is made of intervals. Every single thing. Melodies are made of intervals. If we're talking about Águas de Março, for example, or the song we worked last week, It's Too Late. Stayed in battle. We already had 2 intervals. Stayed in 1 interval between do-dee, do-dee. That's a minor third interval. Do-dee. Stayed in battle. Another minor third, but this is a descendant minor third. Stayed in battle. So we had 2 intervals. Stayed in battle, morning, another interval. So everything in music, melody is all made of intervals. And harmony as well. Harmony, if we think about C major. we are if we're playing a chord, we're playing two in if we're playing how do you say triad in English? Triad, yes, it's a no, you don't know. Okay, a chord that is made of three notes. Triad, triad. Okay, triad, triad. Okay, triad. If you make a triad like C major, for example, then you have C, E, and G, but they are played simultaneously. But they are you have two intervals happening at the same time. You have three actually. You have from C to E, you have a major third. You have from C to G, you have just five, fifth, quinta justa. How do you say this? A justa is weird, but it's a fifth. It's a fifth. Perfect fifth. Can I say that? I'm going to call it like this today. If I'm wrong, I'm going to correct it next class. Okay, that's a fifth. And from the E to the G, we have minor third. Today, today. So we have today, major third, today, minor third, today, fifth. Okay, so we have three intervals happening in just one moment. Like they're happening at the same time. And that's how harmony actually happens. But the chords can be super complex because this is just a three-note chord, but they could have four notes. They could have the chords can have four notes, can have five notes, can have six notes. So music is made of intervals. It's the foundation of music. Intervals is the foundation of music. If you want to know if you want to develop your knowledge in music, if you want to develop your ears, that is the same thing of developing in music actually. Then study intervals. Study intervals. That's a golden tip. Golden tip. And for that, I highly recommend this website www.theory. It's teoria actually. It's into Portuguese. TEORIA.com. But the website it's in English. I don't know why is it written in Portuguese, but the website is in English. But it's very intuitive. Just go there, and you will have a place that is written there. Ear training and in music theory exercises. Click there, and then you will have two options with intervals from one note and intervals in general. And if you're starting with this practice, put intervals from one note that they will just start with they will give you some options. You can start with only perfect intervals and major intervals. That is the best thing that you can do if you're starting. And then you can go with the minors, augmented, diminished, and the tritonus. But yeah, please do this for yourself. Do this for your ears. Study intervals. That's the tip number one. The tip number two is let me. The tip number two. That's a painful one. Record yourself. I think nobody likes to listen to your own voice, right? I hate hearing myself. I really do. Right. It's terrible, but it's exactly because we want to rip our ears out. It's because we are identifying things that we don't like to hear on ourselves, and when we do, we can find stuff that we actually can change, that we can work on. Like, I sang like that this part and I hated that. What can I do to change this? And that's a great thing to actually find places where we have difficulties on finding the pitch, on holding a note. Because if we for example we sing, we don't have the we don't have difficulties to sing on pitch, on the key, but we have some notes that we go a little bit lower or we go a little bit higher. Then we can, listening to ourselves, we can actually identify this differently from actually singing it. We can't discover this while singing, you know. That's why it's important to record ourselves and then listening after. It's painful, it's terrible. It's like putting a knife on our ears and turning, but it's important. It's terrible, but it's important. Tip 3, that's okay. Sing along with someone. Sing along with someone. Try to find a mutual thing between you and the other voice. No, it can be a recording, it can be with someone you know, like in person, but sing along. Singing along is something that can just, you can find a middle term, you know? It's interesting to sing along. I like this exercise because if you sing with someone and you feel that the voices are not matching, that's something, it's kind of crunchy, lum lum, you know? But you both are aiming in the same note, it means that you're not in the same note actually. It feels like, if it feels like someone, if you guys are not, are trying to go in the same place, but you're going through different directions, then you together, or you by yourself, if you're doing it with a recording, can try to find with yourself what kind of way inside of you and with your ears you can find to get together with this other voice, you know. And that's another way of developing your perception, developing your ear. So singing along, it's very nice. And tip 4, that's a very painful one, I must say. Uh, but I very much enjoy this one. Download the Vocal Pitch Monitor app and try to sing straight pitches. What is the Vocal Pitch Monitor? I will show you guys. I very much enjoyed this app. It's an app that it records our voice in a graphic. It kind of shows the movement our notes. It has the name of the notes on this side, on the left side. Yeah, on the left side. It has C, D, E, and anyway, and C3. I think we talked last class about this 3, 4, 5 thing, but the C4 is the middle C. Is this frequency, this C? This C here is the middle C. It's when you look at a piano and you go to the C that is in the middle of the piano, is this one. This sound here specifically. Because there's a lot of C's. This is a C. This is a C. This is a C. I will not go there. But the middle C, the C4, is this one specifically. So when we sing it here, we can, in the vocal pitch monitor, it's very interesting because when you sing it with the vocal pitch monitor, you can actually see a graphic that shows you if you're actually on pitch or not. It's obvious, so you can't fool the app. It's terrible. You can fool yourself, but you can't fool the app. It's terrible, and you can actually record your progress. I will show you guys. This C, for example. I will try it with a yeah. Okay. Yeah. Can you actually do a little zoom here? Yeah. I did great. So you can record your progress and you can practice the songs with the app that you're aiming to learn. For example, the song we're learning today is Águas de Março. We're practicing it in the key. The key we're practicing is B flat. So the first note is D. pau é pedra. Então, so we can, I will put it to, heck. É pau é pedra. É o fim do caminho. And it's very interesting. I will show you guys how I did. É pau é pedra. É o fim do caminho. I was not satisfied with the C. The C, I was a little bit sharp. I saw that I was sharp. That's why this app is so interesting. I saw that I was sharp. Do, and then I made some adjustments inside of my mouth. That's why it's so important to know how the movements of the tongue, of the nose gate, of the jaw, of the lips, because these adjustments plus the ear training makes us correct the pitch, you know? Because some things are very it's very it's just details, you know. I was just a little bit high, but it makes a little difference because when we are very 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 on pitch, then we can be como é que a gente diz tirar onda?
Vou tirar onda.
We can be like, I'm a boss on this, something like that. Yeah, there's a lot of expression for this that I'm trying to say, but I forgot now. But you,
Show off.
yeah, you can show off. Yes, you can show off. Definitely, you can show off if you're on pitch and if you're pitch perfect. Ha! So this app, it's painful. When you see the reality, it's painful, but it works. It works pretty much. And it helps you to connect with yourself, to help to understand your inner structures, and to start correcting this little things we do without noticing. Okay, so I want to talk to you guys. And that's the fifth tip, and that's advanced. If you feel like you are fine with all of this I said, then start learning how to open voices. Oh, but I already know how to open voices. Maybe you think you know how to open voices, but if you don't have a great ear or some knowledge of harmony, sometimes you're opening a voice on a chord that maybe it works melody wise, but inside of a chord that it doesn't make sense. For example, you're opening a minor third in a chord that has a major third, you know? Because when you do it in an automatic way, a lot of people does it actually. I always hear people, I am doing my openings, my open voices when I feel like opening voices. And then people actually opens voices without responsibility of the harmony wise, you know, because singers don't are not attached to harmony. Singers normally don't study harmony. But if you don't feel the harmony, if you don't know what's happening on the harmony, then you can't just open the voice without having the responsibility of what's happening on the rest of the band. A good example for what I'm trying to say, it's the new song that Bruno Mars and Lady Gaga released. There's a moment of the song that Lady Gaga opens a beautiful voice that she does, like it's the last time, like it's the last time. She goes with the major chord. You guys can listen to it, and if it's an unprepared person, the person will not open this correctly. That's why I put it here. Put it. That's why I put it here, advanced, because it's not as simple as it sounds. Opening voices, okay? We need responsibility to open voices. So, águas de março, são as águas de março fechando o verão. É a promessa de vida do teu coração. Pá, padabapá. Okay. Águas de Março. It got very famous with this Elis Antônio album. Elis Regina, just like Chet Baker, she doesn't make in this recording. She doesn't make so much vibratos. Tom Jobim doesn't do vibratos as well. And João Gilberto, actually, João Gilberto sings in a very similar way of Chet Baker. He was a fan of Chet Baker. It's a characteristic of the bossa nova style. Singers from bossa nova, they sing very low. It's kind of a whispery voice, you know. It's something that is it's tender. It's something that it's small. I would say it's minimalistic. Bossa nova tends to think the sound in a minimalistic way, but not the compositions. The compositions are complex, but the arrangements, they and the arrangements are also complex, but the way of the execution are minimalistic. You see, and the melodies, they tend to be elaborated and complicated since the chords are structured with a lot of extensions, and it's the case of Águas de Março as well. But in the case of Águas de Março, the melody is kind of simple. It's kind of simple. We are going to use, I think it's 8 notes on the song. 8 notes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 notes. 9 notes on the song. But the variation is very. It's very uh, we don't have so much variation or melodic variation on the song, and it's and when we do, it's very specific, and it has to do with the lyrics as well. I heard when I arrived, Lon told me that there's English lyrics for the song, but I had no idea, so I didn't bring the English lyrics for us. I brought the Portuguese lyrics, and to talk to you guys about the Portuguese pronunciation, of the pronunciation, yeah. I would need maybe a whole class for that because it's very different from English. But for example, the R's we use are very different. We the car, for example, we don't say the word for car is carro. We don't say carro. We say carro, 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 carro. For example, or I don't know, the vowel e, we say something that is very open. You don't have this in English. The sound but we use it a lot in Brazilian Portuguese. This is something as well. The Brazilian Portuguese is very different from the Portugal Portuguese. Very different. Because of the influences of the African people that came here, that were enslaved, and also the indigenous the indigenous people that were already here when the Portuguese came. So this mixture of people of cultures made the Brazilian Portuguese so rich and so rhythmic, rhythmic. But let's talk about the song. I will try to pass the pronouns to you, pronunciation to you guys in a quick way with the melody as well. And why did I chose this song to talk about intonation? Because it has long the song does not work with vibratos, and I think it's very interesting to think about intonation without using vibratos, just like I told you guys on the tip 4, when I told you, if you guys see the image that I brought with the tips to use the vocal pitch monitor. I suggest you guys to try to sing straight pitches with it. Because when you try to sing it with a vibrato, the note will be like varying. Vibrato is not a straight note, but if you try to do a straight note, then you'll have it on your face if you're doing it correct or not. And the song has stylistically speaking, it doesn't. We're not working with vibratos. pedra é o fim do caminho. And it's a little staccato too. So it's interesting for us to again use the breath support and to try to focus on aiming the notes of the melody. So let's do it. Let's listen to it. Gabriel, I brought, okay, let me put here. I will change just the cable of the cell phone from the. It worked.
Perfeito, perfeito, perfeito.
No, it's here, yes. So I brought two versions of the song. Actually, it's not two versions, it's the same song, but one of the versions I brought, it's it's made from it's just with the voices of Tom Jobim and Elis Regina, and the other is with the sing along bass we're going to sing together. So let's listen to only the voices of Elis Regina and Tom Jobim, just to feel how it is. This melody, if it works, would be awesome. Would be really great. Yes, yes, it's going to work. Here.
É o fim do caminho, é o resto de toco, é um pouco sozinho, é um caco de vidro, é a vida, é o sol, é a noite, é a morte, é o laço, é o anzol, é peroba do campo,
É o nó da madeira,
cainga, candeia,
é o Matita Pereira,
é madeira de vento,
dono da
é
ribanceira,
um mistério profundo,
é o queira ou não queira,
é o vento ventando, é o fim da ladeira, é a viga, é o vão, festa da comida.
é a chuva chovendo, é conversa
It follows this
ribeira
pattern,
das
right?
águas de março, é o fim da canseira,
É o pé, é o chão,
é a mastradeira,
passarinho na mão,
pedra de atiradeira,
é uma ave no céu,
é uma ave no chão,
é um regato, é uma fonte,
é um pedaço de pão,
é o fundo do poço, é o fim do caminho. No rosto desgosto, é um pouco sozinho, é um estrepe,
é um prego,
é uma ponta,
é um ponto,
é um pingo,
pingando,
é uma cor,
é um ponto,
é um peixe, é um gesto,
é uma pata brilhando,
é a luz da manhã,
é o tijolo chegando,
é a lenha, é o dia, é o fim da picada, é a garrafa de cana, o estilhaço na estrada.
é o projeto da casa, é o corpo na
Okay, we had something different here. So we had this melody coming here. Pa 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 da ba da pa da ba da ba pa da ba da ba pa da ba da ba da 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 da da pa da ba da ba da ba da ba da ba da pa da ba da ba da ba da ba da ba da pa da ba 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 da. Okay, so it repeats, 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 and then in this moment he does ba da ba da ba da ba da ba ba da ba
cama, é o carro enguiçado, é a lama, é a lama,
ba da ba da ba da ba da ba da ba da pa ba ba da ba pa ba pa ba. It's the only moment that he changes this melody. The only moment.
É um passo,
é uma ponte,
é um salto,
é uma rã
é um resto
de mato,
na luz
da manhã, são as águas de março fechando o verão, a promessa de vida no teu coração.
Ciao. Bye. That's that song. That's the song. That's the song. So, showing you guys. Gabriel, can I change the cable here fast, quickly? Why? I like to speak, guys. This class should be like 30 minutes class, but I'm already in 40 minutes or something, right? Yeah, but I'm finishing, I promise. So, the song is just like he did this. Da da pa pa da ba da pa pa da ba da pa pa da ba da pa da da ba da da pa da da ba da da pa da 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 ba da 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 pa da 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 dee pa That's the song. That's the song. It just goes like this. And in that moment that I spoke, that is something different, there's something different. This is the thing that happens. It's a little blue note for our major key, okay? It's beautiful, this, right? That's the song. That's the song. In the end of the song, he will do something like: São as águas de março, fechando o verão, é a promessa de vida do teu coração. He's going to use the blue note again. Okay? That's the melody. It's only about this. And then you're going to practice the song thinking that there's only these notes. You're going to grab these notes with yourself in your heart. You're going to get the lyrics, and you're going to try to put every single note in every single place without using vibrato. Okay? Let's sing it from the beginning. Okay, I will change it again. The cable. Yes. Okay, I'll sing it and then we're done. Can you put the lyrics, please, Gabriel?
É pau, é pedra, é o fim
That's the vocals. No, it's not the vocals. It's the sing-along. Yes. Let's go. Please pay attention to my pronouns, okay? É pau, é pedra, é o fim do caminho. É um resto de toco, é um pouco sozinho. É um caco de vidro, é a vida, é o sol. É a noite, é a morte, é um laço, é o anzol. É peroba do campo, é o nó da madeira. Cainga, candeira, é uma tita pereira. É madeira de vento, tombo da ribanceira. É um mistério profundo, é o queira ou não queira. É o vento ventando, é o fim da ladeira. É a viga, é o vão, festa da cumieira. É a chuva chovendo, é conversa ribeira das águas de março. É o fim da canseira, é o pé, é o chão, é a marcha estradeira. Passarinho na mão, pedra de atiradeira. É uma ave no céu, é uma ave no chão. É uma gata, é uma fonte, é um pedaço de pão. É o fundo do poço, é o fim do caminho. Eita, no rosto é desgosto, é um pouco sozinho. É um step, é um prego, é uma conta, é um conto. É um pingo pingando, é uma conta, é um ponto. É um peixe, é um gesto, é uma prata brilhando. É a luz da manhã, é o tijolo chegando. É a lenha, é o dia, é o fim da picada. É a garrafa de cana, o estilhaço na estrada. É o projeto da casa, é o corpo na cama. É o carro enguiçado, é a lama, é a lama. É um passo, é uma ponte, é um sapo, é uma rã. É um resto de mato na luz da manhã. São as águas de março fechando o verão. É a promessa de vida no teu coração. É uma cobra, é um pau, é João, é José. É um espinho na mão, é um corte no pé. São as águas de março fechando o verão. É a promessa de vida no teu coração. É pau, é pedra, é o fim do caminho. É um resto de toco, é um pouco sozinho. É um passo, é uma ponte, é um sapo, é uma rã, é um belo horizonte, é uma febre terçã. São as águas de março fechando o verão, é a promessa de vida no teu coração. Pau, edra, inho, esto, oco, uco, inho, aco, hidro, ida, oite, orte, aço, zol. São as águas de março fechando o verão, é a promessa de vida do teu coração. Papa da baia, para vadida, para vadida, para vaziza, zabadede, para vadede, para vadide, para vadede, para vadide, da digi digi pap sagadide, para vadida baia. Okay, guys. Bye bye. See you next week.